Welcome to meetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'll get my words right here in a second here as we are from Slow Pitch City in Dorchester, Ontario. Ryan Robinson alongside Mark Regan. Mark, I know you've given me trouble in the batting cage a few times, so I figured this time around we'd bring you over for your expertise when it comes to all things slow pitch. And I know you've had a little fun here in the last little bit, getting to see a few guys you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Really excited to be back. I haven't played the game for 4 or 5 years, but played extensively, especially here out of Slow Pitch City in Dorchester for well over 25 years. And it's a pleasure to be back and be involved in the game for Rogers.
We've had a lot of fun, as I mentioned earlier on, talking to Tom Buchan about what we've got coming up this weekend. We will have a total of 7 games between the weekend, 2 tonight and then 3 coming up on Saturday, and then 2 more on Sunday. And the game we're going to get kicking off here with is the Naturals against the Rays. And Mark, a couple of teams that maybe know a little bit about each other, but coming from the interesting part when you get to this level is it's not everybody from the same neighborhood coming together. You've got guys coming from all over the place to play together.
Yeah, that's the incredible thing about slow pitch. This isn't something you play in the backyard anymore. These players are from all over Ontario. These teams, if you have a team that's based out of London that may have 5 players from the London area and another 10 that come from Ottawa through Toronto down to Windsor, it really is a diverse group of players that are playing with the best. And this tournament will showcase those best players and their skills.
Good to get things going here as the Naturals will be the first at bat. Matt Barrett will kick things off here for the Naturals as the Rays will take the defensive side to start things out. Shot. This one going to spray over foul. That one hits the post on the way over there. Look out if you're playing on diamond 2.
For all those of you who are watching the game, Matt currently now has 2 strikes on him as every batter will start with a 1-1 count. So that foul ball really puts him in the hole, and the advantage here to the pitcher.
So the ball gets returned in here, and the spot here, the umpire will. The other thing too is some folks who maybe play recreational slow pitch usually only get the 1 umpire. You get a 3-man crew out here as well, so there might not be as many complaints, but if they are there will still be some passion behind it.
Absolutely.
Pitch inside, that one illegal is the call, and for those who don't know, Mark, you still got to hit the plate with the ball, but big shot here goes to center field. Sprang towards the right field side. Center fielder calls off. 1 out.
Another thing some of you people may notice, there are only 3 outfielders in the outfield like traditional baseball, although in slow pitch softball there are 10 players on the field on defense. So you have your catcher plus 9 players in front. What teams like to do at this level is throw in an extra infielder, and then the outfielders have to be very good athletes to cover a lot of ground out there.
First pitch, big shot here. That one goes through left center. McLeod's turning around first, takes a look, bobbled in the center field. So Mike McLeod's going to move up to second here on a double.
Mike's a local Dorchester boy who's been playing the game now at the highest level for the last 5 years and has represented Canada and Team Canada's slow pitch softball team, playing the American All-Star team the last 2 years.
Up to plate now. Dwayne Hamilton batting in the 3rd spot, takes a look at that first one, just goes a little deep. Pitch comes through, that's high. Waits on this one, so 2 balls off the bat. Batter's in the driver's seat. Pitch comes through. Big shot here. That one's high, and it will go through the trees. 2-run shot here for Hamilton, and
that ball probably carried about 380 feet into the woods here beyond the Diamond and Slow Pitch City. You'll notice the players don't run around the bases. One of the things about this level is to keep the game going, to speed up the game, keep the games within a 90-minute time frame. On every home run, players will just return back to the dugout.
Illegal to call there by the umpire, so the 6 and 12 foot rule is in place. For those who don't know, the ball has to float between, and that's a big hard shot to right field, and that will get over the fence. Solo shot deep to right field.
Brett Foisey probably just trying to drive the ball over first base, and got underneath the ball a little, it carried out with a backspin. So that's 2 home runs they've used up. During a game, you're only allowed 7 home runs, so they want to use them wisely. Those solo shots may come back to hurt them because after that 7th home run, if it goes over the fence, it's an out.
3-0. So early on, 3-0 the score. Big hard shot. That one goes to right center. One hops off the fence in center field, and it's a double here for Pete Babcock.
One of the things people will also notice is as the weather gets cooler, we've lost the sunshine and the humidity. As the weather gets cooler, the ball carries a lot further. You're going to see a lot of line drives carry out to that fence, which is 310 feet from corner to corner all the way through center field.
Up to play here, Chuck Roberts now. Inside pitch here, that one floats through. Another inside pitch, and that's the other thing too. Some people may not realize at this level, guys are throwing different, just like the big leagues. They'll throw different style of pitch. You're not just lobbing it in there. Sometimes it's a spin, it's a back spin. You got English on it. Some guys even throw the knuckleball.
Absolutely, you need to do everything in your power to keep the hitter off balance when you can only throw it in at 6-7 miles an hour.
Ball comes outside. That one goes right to the pitcher. Quick move back over to first. That'll be 2 out.
The other thing you may notice is the pitcher isn't standing on the white rubber. He's standing in directly behind. Pitchers can stand as far as 15 feet back behind that pitcher's mound when they release the ball. So it's really for safety. The balls are hit very hard back up the middle at times.
Darryl Zimmer moves the feet outside and pokes that one to right field. Shot comes through. This only gets a single, but the run will come in to score. As Babcock comes in to score the 4th run of the inning for the Naturals.
This Naturals team has competed at the Canadian Championships over the last 3 years. They're one of the top teams, in fact, ranked 2nd in Ontario right now. So this is just the beginning of a night of great hitting for them, probably.
180, let's go, Kitty.
First pitch comes outside.
Let's go, kid.
Low pitch there. Andy Dreyer up to Platley. Take his swings here. High pitch. That one goes deep, so he'll draw a walk.
So this is an opportunity with 2 runners on. Obviously, if you're going to use your home runs, this is an opportunity to have a 3-run home run. We'll see what the batter wants to do.
4 in so far for the Naturals. They'll take a hard shot. That one gets over towards shortstop. Nice snag there. So through the first half of the first inning, we are up 4-0 here for the Naturals as the Rays will take their chances at the bats. As you said, Mark, a top-ranked team here in the province, so you could kind of expect that probably going to put a few runs up in that first inning.
Absolutely, and being the visiting team, it's really important that you score some runs to put some pressure on the home team to respond. The Naturals obviously have been here many times before. The Rays, of course, they're considered a B team. So in Slow Pitch Ontario, we have an A level, the top level of players, a B level, a C, and a D, a rec level. There are 5 levels of slow pitch. So this team is coming up into the A level to play in this weekend tournament. They have big shoes to fill in being able to compete with the Naturals. It'll be interesting to see what they do here in response.
Isn't it one of those things sometimes too, if you got a B-level team playing an A-level team, it's a challenge base for that B-level team. They're going to play against a team that many people will say, and because of the ranking, is better than them, but it makes it a challenge. It's how do you compete against those guys? And a lot of times, I think guys think they just get better by playing a team that's better than them. Maybe take some tips or something from what they see on the other side.
Absolutely. You can't get better unless you continue to play at a higher level. A lot of the B teams every year are competing to move up to A. In fact, at the end of every summer, the top 2 or 3 teams in the men's B division are moved up to the men's A division across Ontario. So this really is a stepping stone for them.
So the warm-ups are taken care of. We're hoping that rain will fend off here, and
skies are a little threatening over there in the north.
A little tough, so we'll try and get as much as we can in here for you. The The advantage is the folks here at Slow Pitch City take very good care of the facility. So
Come on, hit it hard here.
first pitch comes in, shot goes through the middle. That one goes through a couple of legs. As Jesse Neverett is the first to get on base here for the Rays.
That's a good start. Obviously, you want to start your first batter, your leadoff batter. His intent is to get on base every time, hitting up the middle. Bit of a seeing high hit through the infield, but they'll take it.
Chuck Roberts, the pitcher here for the Naturals. Throws that one in. Hard shot goes to left field. Catch made, tagging on the play. Gonna get down here, slides in under the tag. Umpire signaling safe, so nice move up there on the shot to left field.
That's a nice head first slide to beat the throw. It's a perfect throw from the outfield.
So as you see here, just coming in, tagging on the play, and hard throw. Throw is right on the fly too, so not only big hits here, but big arms in the outfield too.
These people are athletes. This isn't your traditional giggle and hit game. These players come with a purpose every week. They take this game very seriously. You'll know many of these guys are taking 200 to 500 swings a week in batting practice with each other and doing fielding extensively before big tournaments like this.
Shot comes through, that one right over to shortstop. Hard throw across. There's John Chappelle, the pitcher for the Rays.
Some of you may remember Chuck Roberts from his days as a player for the London Majors. Here he is. You think, oh, guys hang it up when they finish their regular baseball careers, but many accomplished baseball players turn to slow pitch to get their baseball fix, especially at the highest level.
Scott Greger at the dish now. He'll take the hard shot. That one, big hard hit. Third base coach waving his man in. Comes through, and a RBI here by McGregor. He gets a single. The Buckwall comes in to score.
That's a perfect swing. Just hitting the top half of the ball, driving it with top spin over the infield so it lands 40 or 50 feet over onto the grass. Nobody can make a play on that. It's a good start.
Big shot here. That one's high in the air. And that'll clear the fence, so a two-run shot.
That's a good response.
Garrett Worthman with a big shot to right center field.
Well, the Rays are proving that they're not intimidated so far, Ryan. They come with their bats. They're ready to play.
Especially when the opposition puts up 4 in the first. If you can respond with at least in the same vicinity, if not more, you're feeling pretty good that you're in the game.
Absolutely. It's a chess match here.
Shot comes through. Hard poke there. That one gets through on a bounce. So a single there for Josh Wood.
You'll see these players as they line up at home plate. Oftentimes they're standing in a specific place in the batter's box. They've got a predetermined idea of what they're looking for from a pitch and where they want to hit it.
Big shot to left field. It's on a rope. Left fielder has a bit of a tough time with it. He handcuffs him. Runner's coming around to the plate. Big slide in by Josh Wood, and that will score another run here, so it'll tie it up at 4.
Impressive speed there coming around the bases. He came around to third in no time at all. Just that bobble gave him the opportunity to score from first. Great play.
Leaving it up at 4 now as you take a look here. We'll get the stopwatch going. He hit second base, and it was full bore ahead.
That's great aggressive base running.
Intended the illegal call on the pitch, but just because the umpire calls illegal doesn't mean you have to take that pitch.
No, it can be considered any pitch you want. You can throw the ball up 30 feet. It's called illegal, but if you want to swing at it, go ahead.
So first and third here. Tied at 4s. Just take a look, and that one right through the middle. Hard shot, that one one to the right side, picked up by the first baseman. So through the first inning, we've got tie at 4 between the Rays and the Naturals here. Not a bad showing for a team that is rated as the B level.
No, that's, as I said, they're ready to play. They're not intimidated at all by the Naturals. I'm sure that all of these players are completely aware of who they're playing against in the second-ranked team in Ontario. So they've come ready to play. They're ready on a Friday night to make it a great weekend. One of the things, too, you may notice, Ryan, is some of these pitchers, obviously I said they're standing behind the mound when they're pitching and stepping back upon release. So they're dropping back and getting ready for the pitch. But you may notice this weekend is that some of the pitchers will wear goalie masks or full face masks. Some even wear shin pads, and maybe a pair of shin pads underneath their pants, because the ball gets hit back at an awfully high rate. And there have been some terrible injuries with players and the pitchers being hit by the ball in the head or in the shin, and broken legs and fractured cheekbones and the like. So you often will see the pitchers dressed in gear similar to a hockey goalie or a catcher in baseball.
Well, you see some of them, especially, usually, the one thing a lot of people sometimes forget, that some of these guys, although there are some sponsored guys that this is playing ball is what they do for a living, but at the same point, there are also some guys that have to go to work on Monday too.
Everybody's got to go back to work Monday morning.
Big shot there, hard hop, throw across to first. That one just gets the man at first base, so 1 out here.
That was a fine play, knocking that ball down a hard shot over the top and throwing from his knees to get the runner out.
Nice play through, yeah. A couple of hops, but still staying with it. Shot through the middle, that one just tailing to the center field side. Comes back in, only a single there.
So these balls, because they have a larger surface than your traditional baseball, they tend to, as you see, tail, dip, turn. Sometimes if they're hit flush, they will knuckle as much as 20 or 30 feet. So the outfielders really have to be on their toes when they're chasing the balls out there.
Matt Barrett up, that one just inside. Barrett goes to the right-hand side. That one gets through between the first and second baseman. Runner's on his horse. He gets slowed up there at third, so we'll have batters at first and third here now with 1 out in the second.
You can see the level that these players play and how hard they hit the ball. They're excellent players, excellent softball slow pitch players. There's an awful lot of time put into this game by these people.
Mike McLeod now. McLeod came around to score in the first inning. He takes a hard shot, again tailing to right field. That one's up, stays in the park. McLeod's turning and looking at the third now. Couple come into cash here.
That's a great hit in the right side in that gap. The player in center field was shifting and shading him over to the left side of second base, so there was a large gap in right center field. And Mike hit it straight into that hole.
Wind's picking up a little bit here. Wayne Hamilton just tattoos another one, so that's back-to-back innings with a big home run.
2 for 2. I think the distance on his 2 home runs is about 730 feet.
He'll score 2 more. 8 on the board now here for the Naturals.
So the job of the players up before him, really, let's get on base for him. He's a big, strong man. If he gets a pitch, he's going to hit it out of the park.
And that's the thing you see. I know we were talking before the game. It's a well-used home run as this one's hit to the right side, gets past the shortstop. Big turn there. It stays at first, but the well-used home run sometime factor is a different one for sure.
Well, so far you've seen with the Naturals, they've hit 3 home runs and have, I believe, 7 runs off their 3 home runs. So that's not a bad stat. At the end of the game, when teams use up their 7 home runs, they'll sit down and talk about how well they use them for the run scoring, their RBIs, because they may be done those 7 home runs by the 5th inning, so you need to max them out for production.
Big shot pulled down the right field side. That one just goes foul. The other thing too, Mark, and I think we may have said it already, but after that 7, it's an out after that. So
yeah,
it might be a tough time for Mr. Hamilton and company if he has to keep going up there many more times.
Well, he's going to have to adjust his swing. Let's say.
The other thing too is you'll see a lot of those high home runs for most guys are on the pole side.
And you'll see the ball, they'll probably start to hit the ball if they use up their home runs. They'll start to hit the ball away from the defense where it's set up.
Big shot, this one tailing back to center field. Jumps up as the center fielder, but it gets over the glove.
So here we are in the 2nd inning. They've used up 4 home runs. They've got 9 runs off of 4 home runs. I'm sure the coaches will be reminding the guys, hey, let's keep it in the park, let's get guys on base. If we're going to hit any more home runs with the 3 remaining, we need to make sure that we're getting lots of run production from those.
That was Pete Babcock there with a home run. He came around to score after having a double back in the 1st inning. 10-4 now for the Naturals. The thought process on keeping the game going is scores can get pretty high pretty quickly too. You're not dealing with okay, you've scored 5, your inning's done. Shot comes across and Chuck Roberts grounds out.
And the coaches will have a plan for them. They're going to say to them, look, our goal this game, we're going to average 25 runs in the tournament, but this first game, we want to make sure we're going to score at least 19 or 20 to set the tone for the rest of the weekend. You really don't want to come out flat.
Daryl Zimmer. Short hop through the shortstop. Ooh, a tough spot there. Zimmer's going to come in sliding head first. He gets in safely.
That's great hustle because that left fielder really charged the ball hard, came up throwing off the hop, but he's in safely just based on pure effort.
Handing runner now. Shot to the shortstop side, and that one comes through for the 3rd out of the inning. So 6 more added on the board here for the Naturals as they get into double digits here as we're in the middle of the 2nd.
And Ryan, you said earlier about players having sponsorships. So there are players on the Naturals team, in fact 4 of them, who are sponsored by the bat manufacturing companies, Worth, Miken, Easton. They literally will pay these players to use their equipment. So that the players get bats, they get gloves, they get bat bags, travel bags, all sorts of goodies, but they have signed a contract where that's the only equipment they will use. They can't use any other manufacturer's equipment. So of course the manufacturers are going out looking for the best players in Canada, and this is it's a huge phenomenon in the United States. In fact, in the United States, many of those players are paid in excess of $100,000 to $200,000 a year to travel 6 months of the year to play slow pitch softball.
Not a bad way to make a living, eh?
I don't know, what a lot of fun that would be.
And that's the thing. It's not just playing. You know, if you're from London, you don't just go to maybe Toronto and that sort of thing. You're playing down in the southern U.S. There's some international competition as well.
This game is truly international.
Big shot through the middle. That's a nice poke.
One of the things you may notice about the Rays, often the biggest difference between a team that plays in the A level and a team that plays at the B level, the size of the players. There's often a size differential. Many of the B teams and C teams are smaller in stature, and often those players are very good singles hitters. They don't have as many power hitters, so that's really a difference here with the Naturals. They're a much bigger, stronger team.
Shot comes to second base, across, looking for 2, safe at first. As a head first slide there by Jesse Never.
This is a big at bat for the Rays. They really need to score some runs here. They can't come up with a 0 on the scoreboard this early in the game. They really need to respond.
Travis Buckwald takes the first one, goes to the right-hand side. As Mark mentioned earlier, starting with the 1-1 count, so it'll be 1-2 here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Travis Buckwald. High pitch comes through, that one lined through the center. As Nevert will move up to second and Buckwald the first on the single.
Oftentimes it's a catch-22 for the pitcher. They're up ahead in the count. They'll probably try and throw a ball that's just outside or just inside off the mat. And then you see on those outside pitches, players tend to drive those right back over the middle at the pitcher.
High shot to the right-hand side here. Both the first baseman and the right fielder almost come together trying to get to that ball.
That's an incredible diving effort by the right fielder.
You know, the phenomenon of the late for Blue Jays fans is pillaring, but that's some high-end speed coming across there.
That's another thing about this game. You know, obviously you can see the power, you can see how well the guys hit the ball, but in every single game of slow pitch, you know that every batter is going to hit the ball. So there has to be some fine defense behind.
Chopper to the left-hand side. Good job to pick that ball up and make the play at second, as that'll be the second out of the inning.
That's a heads-up play. That's a heads-up play by Matt there. Quickly releasing the ball, getting out at second.
And as you mentioned, Mark, it's mostly strategy from some guys. They saw a big chopping swing there to the left-hand side. That was in hopes that that ball would hit a hard surface and maybe pop over that third baseman and allow your runner to make his way through.
Yeah, every batter knows on a certain pitch what they're going to try and do. Right, I said they come up with a strategy, looking for certain pitches to drive the ball a certain place.
Big shot there. That one's high to left field, and it will sail over the fence. So that'll be a 3-run shot.
That was very important with 2 out. They really needed to respond there. That was a good time to use a home run.
Big shot coming through there. That was Scott McGregor, and the runs come in to score 3 of them there, so that makes it 10-7. Eagle was the call, but the swing still made high to the right-hand side, and that catch will come through for the 3rd out. So we will take a quick break and continue up next here from Slow Pitch City in Dorchester.